Okay, honestly, this is probably gonna be one of the most unique board setups I've ever had. And I'll explain why in a second. So today I went over to my local skate shop, Rose Street, and the plan was to pick up a new board. Earlier in the week, the owner, Sean, he sent me photos of the specs of these boards. The specs were kind of crazy because I was like, I've never seen anything like this. And he knows that I've been really enjoying the deluxe reel boards that are like a 13.88 wheelbase. But they're kind of hard to find. You don't really find them too often. Even the board before this, I was riding a Quasi board that had a 14-inch wheelbase. I'll leave the link in the bio so you guys can go check out like the specs on that board. I also got that board from Rose Street. And if you guys aren't local, you can always shop them online. Always nice to support the homies. I was saying, so Sean, the owner, he sent me a photo of the specs on this board, and it's pretty crazy. We're working with an 8.5 inch, 31.35 is the length, and then 13.75 wheelbase. I don't think I've ever seen specs like this. Kind of wide. I mean, it's really wide in the sense to have that type of wheelbase. Usually when you have an 8.5, your wheelbase is usually gonna be about 14.5. So seeing it this small is actually kind of crazy. And the board's pretty short in the length as well. Even an 8.5 is normally about 32 inches long, 32.25. So with it being under that is also pretty unique. I mean, already just kind of feeling it right now, it feels pretty light. I mean, it even looks really stubby. When I stood on this, it kind of felt like I was standing on a fingerboard or like a handboard. It was kind of funny. So I don't know if this wheelbase is actually gonna be too small for me or is it gonna be really nice. All my other stuff I'm riding, like my trucks, my wheels, my bearings, are all the same things I've been riding. So the only real difference is gonna be the board. So I'm honestly really excited to skate this because I don't know, is this wheelbase gonna be too small? But you know what? I guess we're gonna set it up and we're gonna find out. But that will be in another video. Today is all about setting this bad boy up. I've never even had a Krooked board, which is kind of fun, even though I finally had deluxe. And honestly, I've been riding deluxe recently. My first deluxe board was maybe only like a year ago now, maybe? I could be wrong. But in general, I've been really enjoying them. I don't ride for them. I just want to clarify that. I've been buying all of these boards, kind of experimenting, companies, brands, shapes, sizes. So that's been really fun. I guess enough talking, and let's just set this thing up. All right, so I'm gonna slice this thing open. There's got a nice little Krooked sticker in here. I don't know where I'm gonna put that, but I should definitely rep that. I'm gonna get rid of this little warning label right here. I don't know. Do you guys take the warning label off? I always take these things off. I feel like there's been times where like I'll see it under my grip tape, like the circle, and it really bugs me. It could just be me though. Get rid of that stuff over here. We're gonna be setting up to this board with some Indie Hollow 149s. I ride 149s on my 825. I guess I'm gonna be riding them on this 8.5, which is pretty normal, I think. Yeah, right, this lines up pretty nice. And the reason why I ride the 149 though on the 825 is I like having a wider truck. When I do crooked grinds, feeble grinds, the wider truck just gives me kind of more grind space. Just notice when I skated a smaller truck, my crooked grinds had to be more kind of straight on and like kind of more precise. My wider truck, I can kind of hang on the side a little bit more. There's just more room to get into the crooked grind. So that's really why I prefer the wider truck. I mean, I think they say for 825, you're supposed to have like a 144. This is a 149 and literally like I swear it matches up perfect to my board. So it doesn't really bother me, but just kind of something I want to note and mention to everybody. Looks great on the 8.5, so I'm pretty stoked. We also are going to be setting up a new set of these boardycake 48 millimeters. They are 99. They are little wide guys. I usually just skate anything under a 50, especially when I'm skating street. When I'm skating curbs, I'll usually skate like my 44 millimeter, just so I kind of have like just less contact in between my wheels and the ground, just a little bit more grindability. But we'll get into that for another curve video or something, because this is really just my street setup. We're gonna be rocking some pig rails right here. These have been on now a few different boards, but you know, they're lasting. I feel like they last a lot longer on my street board, obviously, because I'm not board sliding as many like cement features. And obviously we're gonna be using pepper grip. I don't do anything fancy with my grip tape. I honestly just like lay it down flat. I like the little crooked thing here. I mean, it would be nice to leave a little cutout, but it's okay. I don't need to do that. We'll just throw this thing on. And it's funny how much extra like grip tape I have on both ends of the board because it's like a little bit shorter. All right. And I don't know, the reason why I like pepper grip too is because like, see right here, when I'm like flattening my nose and tail, it'll kind of like have those crinkles. And sometimes when I had mob grip, I felt like those crinkles like actually stuck. So I had like crinkle cut fry nose and tails, if that makes sense. Where this doesn't do that. I think that's like the only main difference I've noticed with this. Like, I don't know, Mob feels more papery to me, where this is not as papery. And this stuff is really grippy. I don't know, I really like it. For me, having really good grip, it just kind of gives me more confidence, especially when I'm ollieing and like doing tricks. I mean, obviously with flip tricks, it's gonna grab pretty hard. But when you're doing ollies into your grinds and slides or whatever, I don't know. For me, it just feels like it's just more confident having more grip. The little side grind right here. Normally, I would go around it like 2 more times, but since I'm inside, I don't want to make too much of a mess, even though I already have to vacuum over here. But yeah, you know what? I take that back over here. It needed it right there on the concave. Speaking of concave, this True Fit mold has been so nice. So after skating like a few of the True Fit molds and skating other boards, it makes me realize how much more I like these. They just work really well for me. Like the concave and everything is just nice. So let's get this grippy done. I actually grabbed a new razor blade, so hopefully this should slice like, oh wow, it cut through the wood. Whoa, this thing is sharp, yo. That's a sharp blade, man. Wow. This thing is actually great. Wow, a new razor blade for every time you grip is so nice. Like, this is luxury right now. I should make sure I always do this. Wow. That's right. Okay, almost there. Okay, we did the full thing. And then normally too at this point, I would fold the grip tape and I would, you know, kind of sand down the edges so it won't peel up when I'm skating. If your board lands upside down or something, I swear the grip tape will just like peel up right away. So I'm gonna do this outside, not in here, but I wanna let you know, you should probably do that too. You know what, let's move to the trucks next. This is my least favorite part, is having to do this where you have to like puncture the holes. I found like a really skinny screwdriver that should be able to poke through this, but I don't know where it is anymore. I think it's in my storage unit, so your boy's gonna have to do it this way. And if you're wondering, we're using some like Modus hardware, I think it is. It's like the bearing company. I just needed hardware. I literally wasn't like picking and choosing. Homie said he'd hook me up with some. So I was like, you know what, I'll run it. And I honestly I don't know why. Like, what is I don't think there really is a difference between Allen key or like Phillips, really. I feel like Phillips might strip easier, but like all my skate tools have this, so like I can't really complain about not having an Allen key because there's one on here. So honestly, it's not too bad. I don't mind having the Allen key. Okay, this is my front truck. I can tell by the crook groove finally. My trucks now have some groovage, so I can finally tell. Because I always love kind of like how people have different ways of like distinguishing their front and back truck, either with the F or the B, you know, or leaving stickers on them. It's kind of fun to like hear what people do. Because there's a kid that I knew growing up at the skate park, and he would purposely always change his trucks, like purposely, like front to back to front. And the reason was to make his trucks last longer and to break them in, like the bushings better, I guess. I don't know. But homie, if you're still doing that and watching this, good for you. I did it once or twice, and I was like, I get it, but I'm good. So even though I'm riding the 8.5, I feel like with my small wheels, I feel like the weight really won't make too much of a difference. And honestly, I don't really mind a heavy board. I used to ride 10-inch boards, so this is still light no matter what. All right, pretty much. It looks like we got the first truck on, looking good right now. Oh yeah, like even looking this way looks pretty good. Like it definitely goes over, it hides the wheel pretty nice, but not too much. I mean, dang, I could probably even put 159s on this thing, but I think the 149, oh yeah, it goes like right to the edge. No, we're chilling. All right, we got the final 4 screws going in right now. Never thought we would make it. It's funny because when I worked at like a skate shop back in the day, I swear like they made us set up boards like kind of quick. Like I swear there was like a time requirement we had to meet. It was a corporate skate shop if you're wondering. But anyways, last truck is going on. Oh man, we're almost there. And it's funny because like I still have to change my wheels and put my rails on. I'm all thinking I'm like home free after this, but I'm really not. I'm like halfway there kind of. Trucks are on right now. They're on like flan. The board's looking good. For a second, I thought I actually put my trucks on backwards, but no, we're chilling. We're looking good. Let's move to the floor, I guess, and we'll do the tires next. And yes, I said tires. We're working our way down here, and it's funny because some of these wheels have Bones Reds and some Bones Big Balls. Kind of have a little mix going on here. Oh, this one's a full Reds one I can see. These wheels aren't too bad, but I'm actually going to throw these onto one of my other boards, like a curb board. So before they get worse, I wanted to keep them. We were going to literally replace them with the same wheels. I've been really enjoying these boardy cakes. Even though they're 48s and they're super tiny, they're really wide. And honestly, like the width kind of counteracts how small they are. It actually makes it like a pretty chill ride. But anyways, I really like these. Oh, I kind of want to do graphic out, huh? Graphic out with the board's kind of fresh with this, just because it kind of matches it. Or should I do graphic in? I can't tell. They both look like a good option, honestly. I mean, you know what? I might rock it in anyways, just because I'm going to have to eventually switch them, and you know, I'll rock that. It just looks good with the board, I feel. I'm digging it. And usually I ride my wheels like in. Actually, I take that back. It kind of just randomly depends how I'm feeling. But that looks pretty chill. I'm down with that. That looks good. Also, I only tighten my wheel to like it's like flush with the axle. The reason why is like if I land primo or something, my screw will get like shredded one way and then I won't be able to get my screw off, or I'll be able to get it off and then I won't be able to get back on. So I try to leave it right there and not strip it. When I was younger, that happened to me and it was not chill. Anyways, moving to the next wheel. Small wheels on this setup I think will also kind of benefit me is with the smaller wheelbase, I'm going to be able to turn a lot quicker. So with the smaller wheels, I ride like medium loose trucks. I just don't think I'm going to get wheel bite as bad, you know? Because if I have bigger wheels with this kind of wheelbase, I'm going to be able to turn a lot faster and I'm going to be able to obviously hit my wheels on the board faster. So I think the little wheel combination on this small wheelbase is looking good. I could be totally wrong, but that's just what I'm thinking right now. Almost there. Got a little jiggle jiggle. Be fresh. Uh-oh. Oh, is this thing kind of stripped? Oh, no, it kind of is. I was just talking about that. I hope it's not. It was kind of coming off kind of sketchy, so I'm a little worried. If I can't get my wheel on this truck, I'm going to be so bummed. All right. And I feel like another good thing about these, how these wheels are 99s. I wish they were 100s because they would definitely slide a little bit better. But since they are kind of small, the 99 is kind of nice, having a softer wheel. You don't feel as much. And okay, good, the nut was going on. I was honestly really worried that that was stripped after I just talked about it. Okay, no, we're chilling. But that's not looking too great, I'm not going to lie. All right, we got one more wheel. I'm not going to film this because you guys already know what I'm doing. And we'll move on to the rails next. So I guess the last thing we're going to do right now are put my rails on. And when I put my rails on, I actually put them 2 inches in. So usually I'll go like to the middle of the board. And I'll explain why I go 2 inches in a second. But yeah, I'll go to like that 2-inch mark, grab a little marker or something, put a little dot ski right there. Go to this side, do that same thing. Bada bada boom, hit the 2. And the reason why I do this is because I do a lot of board slide hurricane, board slide feebles, and the closer your rails are in, it'll just be easier to leverage back and forth. When you see people with their rails on the way edge of their board, this is kind of like 80s style or something when they were grabbing your board a lot. Like, because when you grab your board, this kind of acts as like a little handle underneath. So it's super essential. But when you're doing board slides and stuff, realistically, you're not trying to scrape the middle of your board. You're trying to reduce that friction from the wood. You're trying to only slide on the plastic. So if you're riding rails right now, and if your board has the scrapes in the middle, I mean, personally, you don't have to, but personally, I would move them in a little bit more just so you can experience like full rail slide. The reason why I like the full rail slide is kind of like it's super consistent. I'd never have to worry if I'm going to stick on a board slide. It feels like a snowboard board slide. Just more consistent for me. Personally, like once you get used to it, you're going to be stoked. Interesting thing I kind of noticed on this, the wheelbase is so small and the rail is actually longer than the wheelbase. Like look at that. That's wild. And I do want to note is that I have like double-sided tape underneath. So it just kind of helps stick it down and it definitely helps prevent that rattling that you always hear from rails. So if you didn't know about that, now you know about it. I'm always so bad at putting my rails on straight. All right, I didn't screw it down super hard yet, just kind of as a tester. No, it looks pretty straight though. I'm actually pretty happy with that. And bada boom. this guy. Wow, that actually went in great. All those sounded like they did not have any problem going in. All right, chill. So I'm just going to turn this bad boy over, and we will do the same thing to this side. All right, the board's all set up, and it's looking great. Definitely hyped on how everything came out. Looks super fresh, and I'm definitely stoked to skate this thing. I'm going to go over exactly why I got this board. Remember how I mentioned the wheelbase was super small? And when you have a super small wheelbase, your board's going to turn a lot faster, and you're going to pop your board a lot quicker. I didn't realize how much of a difference it really made till I made that dramatic difference of the 1388 wheelbase. What I mean by easier, it's just a lot less effort. So when I'm popping kick flips, switch flips, even 360 flips, it's just a lot less effort to do those tricks. Obviously, with it being a shorter board, it makes it rotate a little bit faster, so shove-its work a lot easier. Overall, it just feels a lot more playful, not essentially just for flip tricks and street skating. The small wheelbase can really benefit you if you're skating really tight transitions, DIYs. The small wheelbase will even help you there. It'll actually be able to help you get through those quick corners and not hit your nose on the way down. But let's say you're skating like a vert ramp or something, this is probably not a good choice. You'll just be way too squirmy on it. You definitely want a longer wheelbase. I usually ride an 825, and with this being an 8.5, a little bit bigger, doesn't really bother me since the wheelbase is going to be a lot smaller. Being smaller, obviously, I'll be able to still pop it and flick it pretty quick. Also kind of brings me back to it being 8.5 because it'll be a little bit easier now to land. I'll have more board surface to land on. So I feel like this board will be a fun experiment. I think I'm going to like it, but we'll find out after we skate it. Thanks for watching. Comment and let me know if you guys have ever experimented with a smaller wheelbase. Subscribe so you guys can definitely catch the next video on me skating this, and I'll catch you guys later. It's like a handboard, I swear. Like, do you see the rail right here? Like the little rail, I can just like grind the rail. I don't know. Just saying. It's literally a handboard. This is going to be so fun to skate.